Red lights. Oh, that's a song. I don't remember what it is.
Red lights?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bright lights.
No, not Bright Lights Picks. This is like an 80s song. Yeah. Red lights. I don't remember how it went. We do 99 red balloons, but that's no fun. Oh. Yeah. I don't know. Now it's gonna be stuck in my head. Oh, I hate that. I hate when you like you get that song and it's like you can't figure out the words because you're not, and then it's like, what's up,
Johnny?
What's up? What's up, Wayne? Johnny? Oregon.
Okay.
Hey from Australia.
Look what I got.
So we got a Boss water over here, which reminds me, I just ate some peanuts, so I'm gonna take a little drink here. What's up, Mike? How you doing, buddy? Ernie's on the show tomorrow. Hello from Tennessee. Do you know what's the name of your headphones for running? They are called...
Which ones?
The ones I use for running. Aftershocks.
Aftershocks. Yeah.
Aftershocks. You can get them at Target. You can get them at Best Buy. You can get them at your local running store. Aftershocks.
99 red balloons.
It wasn't it, but yeah. No. Yeah, they're called Aftershocks. They sit right here. I keep thinking. So I have two pairs. I gave one. Hey, it's Gabby. So fancy. I know. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick before we. All right, let's talk about the headphones. So I have two pairs of headphones. One I gave to Haley, and then I have my pair because I wanted the green pair.
Right.
And I bought a gray pair originally. And what's up from Phoenix?
What's
Got
going
the
on?
shirt on. So
That's Phoenix, right there.
I gave him to Haley. Well, Haley didn't take him with her to college, so they're still hanging
What's
on the
up,
shelf.
Johnny?
So I spy Morel in the background. So I was gonna put him in my backpack and bring him with me, so when people ask, I could have him. And then Sue wanted to borrow him because she was going out walking. So I was like, yeah, just take him. She's like, I was like, dude, if you like him, we'll get another pair for you. That way, everyone can have their pair, and life will be, because God forbid you share. Ooh, slow it down.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah. So let's talk about water. The reason why we have these cool Voss waters is because we had a customer come in today from Maryland, who by way of Norway. So he's from Norway, born here, lived in Norway, moved back here, lives in Maryland, has a house in Florida. It's the air conditioner. Either way, he was trying to think of his name is Alex. He's in on the YouTube channel. Is Axel. Why did I say
Alex?
Axel.
Well,
what's up, Bismarck? So anyway, his name is Axeman on this thing here, and so he was like, it was funny because he's like, you guys are like all healthy and stuff like that. I didn't know what to bring you, so I brought you some Norwegian water.
That's
and I
good.
was like, that's a great idea. So he's like, the funny thing is, it's just tap water in Norway, but for here they put it in a cool bottle.
What's going on, John?
So anyways,
Jonathan from England.
Hey y'all, Utah Geology rocks. What's going on, man? How you been? It's been a while, Kevin.
Yeah.
Nice to hear from you.
Puerto Rico.
So Melbourne, Florida, into his house. England. What's
Utah?
Up? Yeah. So Dean from the top choice of the week. Happy Monday, fellas. Thank you.
And the now that we talk about Monday is Cyber Monday. So do you guys order anything, or do you guys ask for anything from the video that we make?
Oh yeah. So we did the Friday. We did the top 10 things to get.
Get the Lumi, man. That's the best thing you can do.
What's up, Lewis? How's it going, buddy? Columbus, Ohio. Who dat? Johnny. That's you. Johnny number 5. Ah, look who it is, Mr. Freeman.
Hey.
Z Hill.
I bring you Z Hill from town.
That's Zephyr Hills. They make the water too.
I like it, Nestle.
Nestle? Yeah, I like the Nestle water. Just watched the Dodge pickup install. Nice work, Dean. Thank you. Thank you very much. Fine, thanks. Well, that's good.
Fine.
So anyways, we put the video up, and we had Jason as a special co-host. We're going to do some more with him for our radios. Buffalo in his house. Are you done shipping? No, we're actually not done shipping stickers. We're still doing stickers. Hopefully, I just talked to Butch last night at bowling. I went, unfortunately, and I didn't bowl. I just watched. I can't bowl. My shoulder. Did Paul sell the 8? No, he did not sell that yet, Wayne. So if you're interested, by all means, give him a call. 727-216-6162.
And ask for your price.
And it was funny. Someone made a joke. You ever seen the show Better Call Saul?
No.
Which was the precursor to Breaking Bad.
Okay.
You know what Breaking Bad was, right? Just pretend to say yes so that everyone on here doesn't give you crap for not knowing what Breaking Bad is.
Nope.
I've been told that I look like the guy from Breaking Bad. But anyways, Better Call Saul was the precursor to it. So some guy made a joke that says Better Call Paul. We should start a new show and make it Better Call Paul. So that was pretty funny. Missed the last 2 videos on Saturday's show and the Patreon. Making changes on The Office. No time. Hey, man, I know what it means to have no time. But, hey, got to make changes. Yeah. Got to do what's important. The show will always be there. Thank you, YouTube. Those used to be glass bottles. Are they plastic still? No, plastic. They are very much plastic. But, yes, you're right. They did used to be glass. Yeah. Ooh. That's probably a shipping thing. It's so expensive to ship.
A lot of breaking bottles in the shipping.
Can't bowl if you don't drink. I would agree with that because there is a certain amount of you're going to need in order to be in that place. Although I will say the bowling alley in Dunedin, the 2 guys that own it have totally refurbished it. It's a very nice bowling alley, and the bathrooms are very clean. And I know this because I had some really crappy food yesterday, and I spent a considerable time in the bathroom last night, and I was admiring how they did nice tile, the door. It was very clean, very nice. It was. The 2 guys that run it make sure that it's very clean and very nice all the time. And it's like, okay, that's very nice. That's good. So, I like it.
What's the email address for the stickers?
I believe it's 5-star sticker at yahoo.com. Tomorrow, let's talk about tomorrow real quick because I was hoping to print a sign for tomorrow.
There you go. Thank you, Chris.
Yes, thank you, Chris. So so the stickers are still good. Hopefully we'll have more stickers. We still have some stickers in stock. So if you get those, if you want stickers, just all you have to do is email your address, your physical house address to that email. Sue, my wife, will put 3 stickers in an envelope and get them out to you. So if you want them for Christmas or whatever, we're still doing it. I haven't talked about it because I didn't know if we had any left, which is it's a whole nother conversation there. He's a great friend of mine. Anyways, so hopefully we do still have some. But don't worry, we're always gonna have stickers, and we just haven't talked about it for a while. Hey, what's up from Michigan?
Hey, any recommendation for the PDX B9 mounting location on the 2007 Trailblazer? Oh man,
no.
That will be in the back.
It's gotta go in the back somewhere on the side. Yeah,
because there's no space.
Tomorrow, these nuts in the house. What's up, Bobby?
Scott.
TMI, too much information. There's never too much information. So, tomorrow's Tuesday. We're going to have another one of these tomorrow. So, we're going to do a special edition tomorrow. Facebook Live, here, you guys, us. I know what you're thinking, wait a minute, it's going to come to my Tuesday night fun. No, because we're going to have our special guest. The special guest is going to be Ernie Hartman. Now, Ernie Hartman is head of tech support at PAC, AMP Global. He's also been the guy that's been responsible for a lot of the AMP pros as far as the testing. He's not the engineer. He's been the guy that goes out and tests them, makes sure these things work. He also runs their tech support page on YouTube, or helps. Anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to have him on the show. We're going to talk to him for an hour. We're going to do all kinds of fun. We're going to interview him, find out where he's come from. You know how we do the show. Yep, anyways, we're going to have him on tomorrow. It ought to be fun.
Exactly.
So tomorrow, same time, 6:30 here on Facebook. We'll tell you at the end just in case you forget. But it'll be a lot of fun. Of course, we'll come in tomorrow and remind you and all that. Does Paul carry any of the new Orion equipment?
He carries some of the new one.
No,
the new
believe it or not, that is not. No, that's not from Orion. Those products that he carries, he got from whatever the warehouse.
Yeah, right
but
here.
Those products.
But that's not the Orion.
But those weren't Orion products. So what those were? Those were Orion products that were made that Orion made to sell in Latin America. Mm-hmm. Latin America didn't want them, so they sold them to the house.
Okay.
The wholesale house. The wholesale house then fed them out to anyone that wanted to buy them. Paul bought them just because they were discounted. So he could sell amps for $59 instead of Planet Audio.
It's still Orion.
It's Orion, but it's not the Orion that is available in the United States.
Okay.
So it's an oddball set of Orion crap. So nothing that anyone would want.
It's not available, but it's still available.
It was like a closeout.
Okay.
So they never sold those in the United States.
But we sell them.
We have those, but not the stuff that you're looking for.
Shh, nobody said that. Okay.
Hey guys. Yes. Oh, hey, what's up, Chris? How you doing? Long time no speak. Is there a dash kit for 2015
Genesis?
The only
I
way,
believe
okay, check metraonline.com would be the only place I could think of that would sell that kit. So that's metraonline.com. Bobby, love the podcast, more. Don't worry, so for those of you guys who don't know, we do a podcast. Now, the podcast is a little bit different than a Q&A show that we normally do. Typically what we do is we come up with one topic, and that topic is usually somehow related to car audio, whether it be we talk about installation, whether we talk about a process, whether we talk about a theory, whether we talk about activity. It is loosely based around our life, which is car audio. We talk about it for a half hour. We beat that topic into the ground. We just released the one Saturday night. I don't remember which one it was. But anyways, so if you're a Patreon member, you get a video version of the podcast. So you get to see us in a similar position as this. You get a video version of it. You get it a week before the regular people get it, but they only get an audio version of it. So, but you can still find it on iTunes, Podbeam, and Google Play. You can find the audio version of it. It's a half-hour show. We try to do 2 a month. We're trying to do more. We want to get back up to I mean, we try to do 2 a month. We're trying to get back up in numbers. It's just it's one of those things that I don't have a designated time that we actually do it. We shoot the podcast whenever it's like at the end of the day or the middle of the day when we have a lull where we don't have something show up for an appointment. We have a list of things that we shoot it. And it's a half hour. But so if you want to become a Patreon member, then you'll get the video version and you get a week before everyone else. Okay, hey, Dave Fernando. Have either of you installed a double dent in an F-150 or a 15 Ford Fusion? And if so, would you recommend a professional to do it DIY? Whew. Okay, so that's that Metra kit, I believe. So the problem with the Metra kit is, and even a professional is going to be like, So the problem with the Metra kit is that if you have the sync system in the car, the Metra kit is designed to retain the sync system, which sucks, totally sucks. And so what you have to buy is you have to buy the Metra kit, and then you have to buy a PAX CP2, SWR, steering wheel control, CP2. And the reason why you have to do that is that the Metra kit, every time you hit the push to talk button, shuts the radio down and launches the sync, which nobody wants. So you buy the CP2 kit, the steering wheel interface, because the CP2 is a data bus steering wheel control module and has an accessory output. So you wire that in, which you actually bypass the sync module, and you connect the power of the radio to the CP2 so that when you press the button on the dash, it will shut the kit down, which isn't hooked up to anything, but the CP2 will keep the radio powered up and retain those functions in the radio. So if you combine the two, you're great. Is it something that you could probably do it? It's just it might take you a while. Yeah. And as far as like an installer, you're gonna need a top-notch installer that knows what they're doing in order to do it. It's not. Because even when we did the first one, we were like, wait a minute, what the hell's going on here? And then we called Metra and we're like, why is it doing this? And they're like, well, why wouldn't it be doing this? And we're like, because that's dumb. And then we were like, so we ended up, and then it was like, well, wait a minute, it's CP2. So, we troubleshooted our way through it. But now that we know it, we can tell you and it'll save you time.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, discuss. Bid 10 for a factory hit unit, or do I have a better option? Depends what kind of car you have.
Bit 10? Who would do a bit 10?
A bit 10.
Bit 10's old.
Yeah.
There's so many other DSPs now that I would probably not get a bit 10. There's nothing wrong with a bit 10. A bit 10 is just older technology. There's so many newer DSPs that are more easier to use. If you just have 4 channels coming out of the head unit, right off the top of my head, you could go with a DM608 or a DSR1. If you need more than that, you have the DM810, you have the Phoenix Gold 8.8, there's a Focal, there's a Moscone, there's always the JL Tweak or Twerk or whatever. So Jason recommended that, and that's his favorite one.
That's his favorite.
I never used it personally, but yeah. So I would look elsewhere. The other thing too is what I always recommend is download the software to your computer and try to use it. Now the nice thing about the DSR1 is you can use an iPad to do it. You don't or a tablet. You don't have to.
And you can also iWatch.
Yeah, you could also control from iWatch.
Ooh, that's
the
nice.
Phoenix Gold is also cross-compatible, meaning you can do tablets, Windows, Mac. The
Androids.
audio control is Windows or Mac, and at some point in their life, they're going to sell a lot
right now.
For
You
something
can
else.
do it.
But you know, the Italians only give you Windows, and that kind of sucks. The Saturday show on YouTube is at 6 o'clock, and
every
it's Saturday. Past week we did a special show because it was Thanksgiving, so we had this Thanksgiving show, but it typically starts Saturday at 6 o'clock. For those of you that are asking.
Eric, the Kenwood 375 is a good hit unit, definitely. So it's a good choice. 2012 F-150 stock radio die recommendation for an expensive replacement. Also, what pack do I need to keep the sync? The steering wheel buttons. Confused by all the options from pack.
Okay, if you're gonna keep the sync, don't go pack. Go iData. All right, you're gonna have a much better experience with keeping the sync if you're using iData. So at that point, what you're gonna need is a radio that will do iData. The cheapest one you could probably get your hands on is the Pioneer AVH 1400 NEX. Will be the cheapest.
Thank you, Trevor. We have a good
did
Thanksgiving.
They do the 601? Did the 601 have the 501 and the 601? Do they have iData? You might also want to check Pioneer and see if the 501 or the 601 AVH dash something 501 601. Those also. What's up, Jason? Kenwood, I know, has new ones that they're. I don't know if they shipped yet that are cheap like those. That will also be, but you need the data connection.
Definitely.
For the iData interface. So look at the iData RR. It's way easier than the pack if you're trying to keep sync. Okay.
All right. Do you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, went to Artie's. It was a good time.
What's up, guys? Need 6x9 components for the 2015 Rogue. Select. What's good?
Y'all have
used. I've been using an app. 6x9
6x9 components. So you have obviously the top of the list for mine is going to be the Morel Maximos.
Okay.
You also have the Focal integration or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Reasonably priced. You have Pioneer now, makes the TSDs. Alpine has the S-types, and on the far end of that is the X-types. Pioneer AVH 601 does accept the Maestro, so there you go. That's probably going to be your cheapest one. Thanks, Jason. So look at that, and the Maestro is going to be your cheapest kit. There was a question here I wanted to answer. Hold on. Pardon my bald head. Okay, the question was, I have an 8400. They're setting up the crossover. What does the 6, 12, 18, 24 mean when you're setting the crossover point? Well, the easiest way to think of that's going to be the slope, and by the slope is when you're setting it up on that radio. As in most crossovers, what you see is you have a straight line, and then you pick a frequency. So let's say 80 hertz, and then you see this line go down at an angle. It looks like a ramp, which is at a slope. Okay, and then as you adjust it, so like let's say this is 6. This is going to be 12. This is going to be 18. It'll stay straight. So I'm doing a really bad job. So it moves like this. It stays here and it goes like this. Yeah. So you got like 6, 12, 18, 24. And what it's doing is that's the cutoff. So across the top is all the numbers. All right. So like from 20 to 20,000. And as you this is where it's called the 3dB down point, meaning this is where it starts to reduce the volume. So at 80 hertz, it's going to be, by the time it gets down to 120, it's going to be less, 240, a little less, and so on and so forth. Actually, 160, 320. So that slope has to do with how much of that sound you want to block. So if you put it at 80 hertz, 24 dB, there's very little is going to be on that side, and that's helpful in a certain situation where you're trying to get an in-bass out of, let's say, a really cheap speaker and you don't want it to play past that. Most of the time, a 12 or 18 slope is where you want to be. But it's essentially that. So it's reducing the volume every octave down.
Can you guys tell my wife not to the AirPods since you say you're talking the gibberish?
Can you guys, what does that say? Can you guys tell me about no on AirPods since
you talk about
since she says you're talking gibberish. Well, yeah. What is time running out for? Good question, Aaron, and way to read the title of the show. The reason why we picked that title this week was because Fernando was curious. He's like, I wonder if anyone's going to watch our video and ask for that stuff for Christmas. And I said, well, time is running out because Christmas is only, 4 weeks away?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What's up, Bobby?
You know, so that was it. I don't know, but, you know,
that was something.
Time always runs somewhere.
At least somebody
that's
read the
what
title.
It's running out for. Good call. Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you. How quick is it cut off the frequency selected in layman's terms? Well, okay, so if it's 3 dB down every octave, so an octave is, you know, so you're at 80, that's going to be 160, 320, doubling. It's pretty quick. So the idea, I mean, I don't really know how to, it's pretty quick. If 3 dB is considered half the volume, you know, 6 dB is really, we've figured out about 9 to 10 dB is double the volume, even though they say 3 dB is 6 and it doubles, but it cuts off pretty quick. There again, you can use your ears to figure this out by just playing those one frequencies. So if you just fade it to the front, most of the time 12 dB is good. A lot of the times now that we have access to 18 dB, a lot of people are using 18 dB. The nice thing about having the 18 and 24 dB as an option is that you can try to get a little bit more mid-bass out of the speaker that you couldn't get with just having 12 as an option. So, you know, if you look at the bottom point at that slope, you can kind of, if that doesn't move, you can kind of see on the graph where those frequencies are going to be.
Right.
But Pioneer does an excellent job of plotting this out. So does Kenwood.
Yep.
So it's like just kind of fix it. All of them do, really. Alpine does. So just kind of like figure out where it's going and then listen to just that, and you can turn it up and down from there.
All right.
What's up, Ada?
I'm
just
looking
talking
for
about
cheap
crossover points and slopes.
I'm looking for a cheap Bluetooth head unit. What do you recommend?
I don't. I have no idea. I mean, I haven't looked at it. You know, we got the 310, which isn't even the 310 anymore.
Just check the Kenwood at 350.
You know.
That's a good one, you know.
Oh, are we talking about a screen?
Yeah.
I want to be on your show when I go to Disney. Well, you're coming in February, so yeah, sure.
Oh, really?
I think that's what he said. I think he's coming in February. Yeah, we'll figure it out. All I want for Christmas is warmer weather. All I want for Christmas is colder weather. The irony?
Yeah.
It's not escaped. Pioneer, Sony Pioneer.
Sony
GS9.
GS9.
Is that the expensive one? Is that the cheap one?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, everyone's got that. I mean, honestly, every single DEN radio is like under $150 for the most part. Maybe the PRS-80 isn't, but they're all really reasonable.
Yeah.
Came to check your shop out when I was in St. Pete. Oh, hold on. What is Terry Green saying here? A few weeks ago, I should have checked the closing time because I was late, but definitely want to meet you guys. Sorry, yeah, we closed at 6:30, and we close at a sharp 6:30 too, man.
All right, so Corey, are you guys doing any Christmas tool list for installer this year? Watch the one that you posted the other day. That was more like a product.
So, if you want a list of... Okay, so here's the thing. When it comes to like tools for installers and stuff like that, we have a video up in the from the install bay. Mm-hmm. Actually, from Tool Time. We have a playlist called Tool Time. It's not a screen. Yeah, that's the cool. I know which one you're talking about. The G. That's the high res one. We have a playlist called Tool Time, and in that Tool Time playlist, we have what's in our bucket. And we go ahead and we dump out our bucket and we pull it all out and we show you all the tools that it takes to do what we do in our bucket. Mm-hmm. That's a great one to start with as far as tools for installers. And then of course DNF Tool Drawer, which is .com, which is the website. Everything on there is the tool that we use, as well as like the plastics and stuff like that. So
everything.
We've taken it all and made it as easy as possible. If you go to DNF Tool Drawer, everything that we use, we try to put up there. We're adding more stuff to it. But yeah, that's a good. And if there's something up there or something you've seen us use that isn't up there, and you want just to ask, and I'll get back to you. But try to ask in a live show. It's way easier.
All right. In your opinion, Where is the best shallow mount subwoofer for seal enclosure? 2017 Ram, 1500 under the rear seats. 10, 210s, 112.
I like the 210s. I like the 210s. I like the A-Trend box. I like the 210 Comp RTs underneath that seat. Sounds really good. But that would be my recommendation if you're looking to go that way. Now, if you want to go the other way, you could get into the Fox box. It'll lift the seat up an inch, but you could put a regular woofer in there and it'll go crazy. Crazy
that
loud.
would be crazy loud. Yeah.
Should I sound dampen the inside? Should I sound dampen the inside door? I did around the speaker with fast rings. How much is better? Yeah, you want to do the skin of the door. So you know the outside of the door. You definitely want to do that because that's where the biggest metal is, and that's where you're going to get the most this. So what the sound treatment is trying to do is keep this from happening, because what you have is you have the speaker doing this, and then this is doing this, and then you run with this, and that's where you get the mid-bass cancellation. So the foam behind it, in theory, which has never been proven, is to help that not be so much, but you still need to do the sound treatment. At least do it behind the speaker. Anytime there's a big panel, you know, when you're knocking on it, if you get a hollow sound, you want to put pieces on there to get rid of the hollow sound.
I want to keep my factory radio. It's a 2017 Chevy Impala, which will work the best. Audio control LCQ1 or the LC7i. I will add a 5-channel amp, front components, rear coaxials, and a sub, and a single sub.
So the nice thing about the LCQ1 over the LC7i is the Q, which is the EQ. So having some form of equalization is always a plus. You know, because with just an LC7i, an LC7i is great if you like the way it sounds. Like it's like, man, I just want it louder. I'm going to add an amp to make it louder. You don't want a lot of equalization, a lot of adjustment. You're just cool with making it louder. The LC7i will do that. Or if you're going to add in a processor or something like that that doesn't have high-level input. The LCQ1, on the other hand, allows you to do some tweaking. So if there's any dips or valleys or holes or things that don't sound so good, it gives you the adjustments. It gives you some adjustments to fix that. So, like if you have bass that sucks, there's 5 bands of equalization for the subwoofer, which is nice. So, honestly, we haven't put an LC7i in a really long time, because if we're in that price range or in that feature set, I always walk people up to the LCQ1, so at least I have something I can do to improve it other than just roll the dice and be like, hope it sounds good.
Yeah, alright, so if you have to do a full sound system, what company will be right now?
Well, the question asked on here is funny. Is Morel one of your sponsors? The reason I ask is the box is behind you. So what these are, if you hadn't seen them, these are the new pancake speakers that they've just come out with. And what line is this? This is the Virtus Nano, and what this is this guy here. Now these are on loan to us. That's these guys here. Ooh, that's right. Look, it's like a flying saucer. So that's these. This is a 6.5-inch mid bass. Okay.
Look at that.
So these are on loan to us from Bill, who's our Kenwood / Morel / Audison Hurt /
Rockford.
They do a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Rockford.
they do a lot.
And he was nice enough, because he knows I have an affinity for Morel. I really love Morel a lot. And so they gave us permission, because a lot of the times when you get these in, they don't want you to do anything other than look at them. So they actually gave us permission to put these in Fernando's car in the lab.
Yep.
So these are the reason why they're back here is because part of the deal of us.
Give me the sign. Somebody say something about the sign. That sign.
Yep. Part of the reason why they're there is because part of the deal of them letting us use those is that we go ahead and tell you that those things exist. So it's a win-win. We get to talk about new products, and you guys get to hear about it. It's a lot of fun. Now the sign beneath it, that's the GoFundMe sign. That's the 12 volt for a cause. What that is they're trying to raise $50,000. That's the 12 volts. That's us. That's you guys and us and everyone that does 12 volts. They're trying to raise $50,000 to give to
St. Jude Hospital.
That's St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Now, the nice thing about it is if you contribute $20 or more, your name goes into a drawing. 12-volt manufacturers like Audio Control, like K40, and there's tons. There's like $15,000 worth of stuff right now that's up for grabs. So if you donate $20, your name goes in. You get a ticket-ish, and they're going to draw, and they're going to give all this stuff away. So it's a win. There again, win-win. You donate money, you have the opportunity to win something. Now, every time you donate $20, your name goes in again. So if you donate $100, you get 5 chances to win. It's a lot of fun. It goes to a great cause. They're trying to do it before December 25th. We have a whole video on it that explains the whole process and talks about somebody that has had experience with them. Our good friend Chris Bennett from Audio Control has actually had to use their services before with his child. So it's a very touching thing. It's the holidays. It's the time to give. It's the time to do all kinds.
Just go and donate $20, man.
That's the GoFundMe, 12-volt for a cause, or 12V for a cause. So that's why it's there. We've donated. It's not ours. We have a video on but we're trying to push it so that they can meet these goals. To show that the 12-volt community is
big family.
We care.
Yeah. Does each amplifier need to have their own power? Or can be in the distribution block? 4-channel, SCART, and an RP800.
So as long as the power wire can support the amperage you're going to put over it, you can put them into a distribution block. Now, if you go to kickeraudio.com, they have a power wire calculator in their if you dig through and find their school or tools or whatever it is, you can find a power wire calculator. Basically what you want to do is take the amperage draw of both amplifiers. Most of them are going to have fuses on them, so if you have, let's say, two 30 amp fuses, that's going to be 60 amps, and you have two 30 amp fuses, that's going to be 60 amps, it's going to be 120 amps. What you want to do is figure out the length of the piece of wire that's in the car, and say 4-gauge wire, 18 feet, and then it'll tell you if it's good for that amount of amperage. If it's good for that amount of amperage, by all means, go ahead and use it. Put a distribution block. If it's not good for that amount of amperage, then you have the choice of either A, going up to a bigger wire, let's say a 0-gauge, which will definitely be big enough, or B, running 2 power wires, in this case possibly an 8-gauge and a 4-gauge. If you saw the picture of the 2 SCAR amplifiers we just put in the F-150 last week, that was a 0-gauge. So they had the 75x4 and the 1500x1. We ran a 0-gauge power and ground into a distribution block, 4-gauge out to the sub-amp, 8-gauge out to the smaller amplifier. Life was good, but that's what you need to do. A lot of the times you'll see that we do let's say run 2 4-gauges, because 0-gauge is really hard in some cars to get up underneath the floor sill or the carpet or something like that. It's just easier to do.
Stop shaking it. I'm sorry.
Easier to do 2 4-gauge. Yeah. But yeah, there you go.
Melinda, if you want something about the installation, please call Paul at the store. He will give you a price or the details if you want to do the 2017 Jeep Wrangler 6.8 and 6 something PRV. So just call him. So
Josh, Profile is a very old brand. Profile speakers are very nice. Had some back in the day. Yeah, it's definitely a back in the day speaker. I don't remember who the parent company was, but those are definitely old. There again, brand really doesn't mean anything as long as they sound good. If they sound good, cool. If they don't, replace them. But yeah, that was old school stuff there.
Do you know how much is that speaker?
Not a clue.
No.
But so anyways, to answer the question that was, what brand would I like to put in my car?
Yep.
Yeah, it would be Morel.
Okay.
Got to be honest with you. I'm lobbying really hard for them to get me a Morel system. Yeah. I'm also interested in, we have our relationship with Kicker, as you guys know. That was really nice. The Q-Class is a really nice product as well. Focal is something that is also like your K2s and stuff like that.
I would put Focal.
So is that a yes to the sponsor? They're not sponsoring us because we actually have to give those back. They're on loan. So think of it as a museum. When you get a when they get a painting, they get to hang it on the wall and they get to advertise and say, "Hey, come see this cool painting." But then they have to send it back. So we get to put those in, we get to hear how they sound, and then we have to pull them back out. So they're not sponsoring it.
No.
However, Bill, who does not work for Morel but is our rep, MAG Sales, he's like, hey, if we're gonna let you do this, at least because we're getting nothing out of it other than the sheer joy of getting the pleasure of listening to those speakers.
How they sound, yeah.
So and then telling you guys whether they're yay or nay. Are the Fox boxes decent? Worried about tearing them up with decent subs? You'd really have to be a superhero to tear one of those boxes up. They are built well.
They're really nice.
They're braced. They weigh a ton. They're all rhino lined. No, we've done several Fox boxes, mainly in the F-150s, the Dodge Rams,
Toyotas.
and then the Toyotas. And
what speakers again?
And they sound great.
Yep.
The Morel. That's the pancakes.
Have you guys ever heard? Yeah. Okay.
Well, I was gonna say in the Fox boxes and the shallower ones, we've been putting in the T110s from Rockford, shallow T110s, and then in like the Ram boxes, I think we've been doing P3s. We've done R types, and then we've done some scars.
Yeah.
I think the VVX.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
pretty good. Have you ever heard of Profile brand speakers? My car has 6x9
Yeah, we covered that.
Yeah,
we covered that. Kicker power wire chart. Thank you, Scott. Perfect. That's it. So if you want to figure out your the Nanos. Yes, they are the Nanos. That's them. We got them. That's that box. Yay.
There you go.
Hey guys, have you ever done an 0106 Acura MDX? I'm running Alpine Type S. Why does that always do that to me? I'm running Type S components, but I think the Kenwood 7-inch would fit with adapters. Okay, so Honda, Acura, basically what you run into is that they might fit with adapters, but more than likely you're probably going to end up cutting part of the door to get them to fit in there because the magnets are big, and Honda, Acura usually does some thin, or does really tiny magnets. But yeah, because the 7-inch actually comes with a spacer that takes it from the 7 to a 6.5 and a half-inch amount of area, but you still might run into an issue where you have to trim it up. I know on a lot of those Honda Acuras, we just buzz it with an air saw and make it the right size hole, and boom, no problem. The depth won't be an issue.
Do they make a 6.5 to 6x9 to 6.5 speaker brackets for a 2007 Ram?
6x9 to 6.5? Yeah, both Metra and Pack have that. I would recommend though making one yourself, just getting some plastic and doing it yourself because they're pretty cheesy.
Yeah.
Do we have one over there? I don't even stock them. I mean, I give them to Paul. I hate them.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
sometimes we make them.
I don't even think.
Yeah,
I know when you actually buy a Rockford Punch or Power Series, when you buy the Rockford Punch Series, it actually comes with the 6x9 to 6.5-inch bracket with a provision for a tweeter.
Hey, Dean, what sub will you put in your Camaro?
What sub would I put in my Camaro? So, I like the T1. I like the T1 shallow mount. I toyed around that idea for a minute because I wanted a wedge, something small. It's funny, for all the headache I give Rockford, I really like their subs. Okay, I like the P3s. I think that's a really nice punchy bass sub. But right now I don't have anything that I'm just like lusting over. You know, like an L7 would be cool.
I have a P28. It sounds good.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, you know, for a minute there I was thinking about doing one of those shallow mount Scar 10s.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mainly because I know Shane would be nice and, maybe give me a good deal on one. But
yeah, why not?
Yeah, our types can't handle 1,000 watts. You are correct. They cannot handle 1,000 watts. They're not rated at 1,000 watts. Do not put 1,000 watts on an R type. The internet kills that because we've had several guys that buy those things off of Crutchfield. They'll buy the 1,000 watt amp because max power rating, meaning if at like one frequency going and it'll handle 1,000 watts. But all day long, no, not a chance. So if you buy a 1,000 watt amp to connect to a R type, if it's 1,000 watts at 1 ohm and it's 500 watts at, let's say, 2 ohm, run it at 2 ohm. Your woofer will last forever and it will love you. If you try to run it at 1 ohm and get 1,000 watts, kiss it goodbye.
All right, what do you think? What do you guys think that a lot of manufacturers stop doing the demo cars vehicles?
Oh yeah, the VD10. That's right. You've heard my VD10. That's exactly. You're the reason why I was thinking about doing the VD10. That was the little dude. I can't remember the type of car. He has a VD10 in the back off a little Scar amp and a spare tire well. You don't remember, but you've heard it. Okay. It's impressive. What was the question? I'm sorry.
What do you think about a lot of manufacturers stop doing the demo vehicles? There used to be so many.
Well, they have stopped doing the vans, but I think they all still do some form of a demo vehicle. The problem is, like, okay, so Rockford has a demo vehicle. Yeah. Kicker has several demo vehicles. Yes. Alpine just has a new fleet of trucks.
Yep.
Pack or Amp has the Phantoms. Mm-hmm. So we have the Phantom trucks. Mm-hmm. Hertz Audison, they have one car for each.
Yep.
Not many.
Audio Control has.
Audio Control doesn't have anything.
They use bought it and they say they trying to make it a
car.
Yeah,
yeah, we'll see how that goes. Pioneer has the little fleet of those silly little cars.
Focal has.
Well, Focal has their guys.
Yeah.
They don't actually have a Focal
car
here.
Focal, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like, but they're smaller companies.
Yeah. But they still have it, yeah.
Alpine also has, yeah, so I mean, they're all still out there. What you're not seeing though, and then like loud companies, when you go to like Daytona and you have like the South American, the Brazilian stuff. Mm-hmm. They all have their giant armored vehicles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what you're not seeing those like the good old days, we used to have the minivans, and they'd all build the minivans with 415s or 615s and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Now, the only one that's probably still doing but Rockford has the little truck that has 415s in it, mm-hmm. and I know when I was at Kicker, they had just got done doing a Dodge Ram with 615s in it, or 415s.
Hey, Chris.
So they're still there. It's just they don't travel around like they used to. When Kicker had the Impala wagon with the Solar Barracks. Damn. Oh, yeah, that's right. That might have been John's. I don't know. But yes, I know what you're talking about. That was awesome. They had that at Daytona. I think the new Type RS are rated at 1,000 RPM. They are, Donald. They're rated at that, but they won't handle it. Okay, it's just a different surround. The motor structure is the same. They're not peak power is 1,000 watts, 500 watts all day long. You can either trust me on this one, or you can blow them up.
Alright, hey Dean, I have a Kenwood DDX 9703S with reverse camera. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't when you put the car in reverse. What do you think will be causing the problem?
Well, it depends on what kind of car you have. So the easiest way to figure this out is to see what is going on when you put the car in reverse. So take a digital multimeter and see if you're getting 12 volts to behind the radio. Mm-hmm. If it's a German car, a lot of the times when you tap that tail light, it's a very low amperage output. It's 12 volts, but it's no amperage at all, and you have to put a relay on it in order to up the amperage to trigger the radio. The other thing too is that if you're powering the camera off the tail lights as well as using the tail lights for a trigger, you may need a relay or wire the camera up to accessory power like we recommend in all our videos. Mm-hmm. But it's probably an amperage issue, not necessarily a voltage issue. So if you meter it and you see that it's getting 12 volts, then it's an amperage, you need to add a relay. That's that. What about the Kicker Cube, the van with a lot of alpha? I still have plans to own an Astro van one day. Old school, baby. Yeah, no doubt. Rob built one of those, Bean. I helped him build one with the giant Rockford 4000s and like tons of... Got distracted. Hope you guys didn't answer my question about the alternator. No, I didn't. I don't remember what it was either.
What was the question?
It's a 2012 Camaro. 2012 Camaro should be using... You should have a smart harness in there that's turning that on and off. So it shouldn't be attached to the lights. There shouldn't be any issues with that. Yeah, because if you have a 2012 Camaro, you're either using a pack kit, a Scosche kit, or a metric kit. So, and those are data-driven connections. They don't actually go out to the taillights. Now, the question I would ask is the screen going black? Or is it, meaning it's going black, but you're not seeing an image? If that's the case, where are you getting the power for the camera? If you're getting it off the reverse lights, that's the problem. If it's not going, if it's not switching over to reverse, that's weird because that's a data thing that's generated in the module and it connects. So, I don't know.
So, Tom,
buy the L7.
Yeah. Okay, so this is weird. Hey, can I use a 2004 Mercury Grand Marquis MacMan alternator on a 2005 Mercury Grand Marquis?
Okay. I mean, I guess as long as you can build a bracket for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure MacMan has wonderful tech support. I would definitely give him a call. I mean, those are the alternaters everyone recommends. I'm assuming they recommend them because the guy knows what he's doing. I would give him a call.
Definitely.
I mean, the thing is you know, we're appreciative that you guys ask us a lot of these questions, and a lot of the times they're simple enough for us to answer, and we can go ahead and do it because we have an extensive installation knowledge in what we do. But a lot of the times, if you have a pointed question about a specific product, these manufacturers have guys that sit there and wait to answer the phones to answer these questions. So by all means, definitely answer them. All right, what's he saying about Tony? All right, what do we got here? Tony,
it's a 2012 Camaro. I'm using the pack harness.
So there again, is the screen going black, or when you put it in reverse, nothing happens? That's the key here.
What's up, Marshall?
Grand Marquis, MacMan alternator, 2005 Grand Marquis. I would think you could, though, on that Grand Marquis, but you know, the thing is, I would still call because those alternators are so expensive. What size shirts do you guys wear? I wear a large, he wears a medium.
Yep.
And if you're wondering, Haley also wears a medium, just in case. I'm just saying, she gets...
Oh, she will.
Type 1, if you missed the days when Phoenix Gold sold affordable bang for the buck equipment. I gotta be honest with you, Alex, if you look at what Amp Global has done with the Phoenix Gold stuff, it's real reasonable. And it's funny, actually the cheaper products they make are really, really nice. And probably more bulletproof than the more expensive stuff, and I'm biting my tongue. But yeah, nothing happens. So, alright, so then what you get is it's not going. So I would check, okay, so first thing, make sure that the software on the harness is up to date. So take it back to whoever put it in for you. Make sure, go to the website, make sure that it's up to date. 2, check your connection on that. 3, there was a note that was made on those harnesses that you need to jump the constant 12 volts from the input to the output. So the constant 12 volts and ground pass through the unit. What you have to do is make a jumper that goes from the yellow and black on this side to the yellow and black on this side. Don't cut them, just jumper them, meaning add in a jumper, because there was a power issue with the main unit that it wasn't getting enough power through the brain. So it's going to be one of those things that either A, the connection that you have tied into the radio, the purple white wire or the orange white wire, depending on which manufacturer you're using, is poor. Maybe bad solder joint, maybe a bad crimp, you know, something like that. The unit isn't up to date, which is thin but possible depending on when you got it, because they do update that thing quite frequently. Or there's not enough power getting into the module and you need to do the jumper. So try those 3 things and hopefully one of those will fix. And if worst comes to worst, none of those 3 things work, give their tech support a call, because Ernie, who is head of tech support, which will be on the show tomorrow, make sure that these guys know stuff like this. So he's the guy I call when I have questions about this. Okay.
All right.
What's the weirdest install you've ever done?
Like weird and what? Like.
Well, man, I guess weird could be anything. I mean, I know.
Have to build stuff or.
Well, okay,
like
so years ago when I was at AVE, a lady kept coming back with blowing the cigarette lighter fuse.
Okay.
Okay. Turns out underneath the seat was a 12-volt vibrator, and what was happening is she's apparently really enjoying her trip home.
Hello, Mississippi.
That kind of vibrator, and so she kept blowing the circuit on her cigarette lighter. She kept blaming it on the radio, but you know, we figured it out. That was pretty weird.
I remember one day somebody came in here that they have like a blowing the cigarette lighter. But it's because they have a coin in the inside.
Oh, the penny that falls inside of that.
So it's like it's blowing all the time.
Yeah, well, yeah. What's the difference between a DM608 and a DM810? Real simple. A 608 has 6 channels of input, 8 channels of output. Those 6 channels can be summed in any configuration or moved so that you have 6 or 1, anywhere between 2 and 6 inputs. The 810 has 8 channels of input, 10 channels of output. 8 channels of input that can be summed or moved around. So for example, let's say you have a front tweeter, a front mid-range, rear mid, sub, center. So you need to be able to sum all those together. So that's the only difference, is the number of channels and what you can do with them. I did the jumper, learned that from YouTube before. Okay, install. I'll try the update. Okay, and then also just make sure you don't have a loose solder joint or something like that. Please go to Google and give 5-star a good rating for all the help they give. Thanks, you, Derek. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. Did a scooter with an 8-inch sub and a Focal amp, the custom speaker pods, and the Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah. That little Focal amp is really good. That was the little Focal amp was what the guy had at Knowledge Fest in the motorcycle with all the K2s. Yep. That was so crazy. What is the most expensive system you've put into the crappiest car? You know, there again, I have a... Alright, so I had a guy that had a cop car, Crown Vic.
Okay.
Alright, this was years ago. And he was a photojournalist. So he drove around to accidents, murder scenes, and all that stuff and took pictures of them to sell to the newspaper and to the news and all that stuff. So he had this crappy Crown Vic, and he had the door handle shaved, had everything done on it. We had to put, at the time, Alpine made what was called an 80-80 alarm system and an 80-70. And it was kind of the precursor to the new key fobs with the screens on them. This had a watch on it. It didn't do anything other than tell you pressing one button. It didn't have like two-way or anything like that. But you could take and combine 4 of these alarms together. So we ended up putting 2 80-70s and an 80-80 into his car so that he could like pop each door, roll down each window, roll up each window, pop the trunk, start the car. And it was just so stupid. And it was a lot of money, and it was in a crappy Crown Vic. So,
hey, why not? 2016 Chevrolet Colorado, now Bose. I'm thinking in the pack Amp Pro GM61 and the audio control D6 1200. And I'm in the right track to integrate with the factory head unit? That's a question mark. Thanks for the advice. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, and you know, with that, we can also go for the audio control amp with the integrated DSP or the audio Really?
Yeah.
Or we could go with the... So we'll look at Max's question also. So, yes, you're on the right track. That is cool. The Amp Pro GM61 with the D1200, great combination. Yay. Totally thumbs up on that. Now, the question is, do I buy the D or do I buy the LC? So, do I buy it with the DSP built into it or do I buy it with the DSP built out of it? The answer is simple. If you only need the amount of channels that are available, meaning input-wise, as far as like high-level to low-level inputs, which you're not going to be using in the case of the GM61, but as long as it fits the need, I'm a big fan of the Ds. Like when we're doing these cars, like an F-150 or anything like that that uses an Amp Pro, because the 61200 came out late, we were doing a lot of D 4.800s with the 1.800s. That was like my favorite go-to. This will do anything. If I have to go high level, it's got 6 channels of high level built into it. Cool. If I have to go out of a radio, it's got 4 RCA inputs. Cool. If I have to hook up to a Amp Pro, it's got 6 inputs. Cool. I can have lots of fun with it. So I'm all for the Ds. Honestly, to me, if I had, if you want a D or an LC, I'm buying a D.
DSP later.
DSP. Maybe add DSP later.
I have to decide between the 600 or the D 4.800.
I would buy. Okay, there again. Like, my only complaint with, let's say, you could always get the DSP later, but if you, how much power are you going to need for your sub? I mean, what are you doing for a sub? That's why the D 4.800 and the 1.800 to me were golden because I wanted the 800 watts for the sub, and then the 61200 wasn't giving me enough power to do what I wanted to on the subwoofer. So really, the D 6.1200 is great for, let's say, if you're going to go active on front, rear fill, and an outboard sub amp, or if you're going to go three-way up front. So maybe the 4.800, the D4.800, and then just add a sub amp at some point. Or like we did in the one F-150 where we just did the D4.800 on the front set of components, and channels 3 and 4 were on the sub. Yeah. Because he just wanted to do a three-way set.
Hi from Oklahoma.
Or three-way, three position, front, left, right, sub.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Hi, I'm curious. In the AVH 2300 NEX installed tomorrow, curious if I will lose my sonar beeps for the rear and front blind spots.
For what kind of, what is he doing?
Just the radio.
On what?
I don't know what kind of car.
Well, okay, so the question is, do I, without knowing the car and all that other fun stuff, the question is the beeps and the dings and the chimes and all that. So the idea between this, adding smart harnesses is to keep all that stuff. You know, both PAC and iData and Metra all try to retain that stuff. Now, does it stay put? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. In the case of iData, it will typically stay put, meaning if it came out of the corner, most of the time it comes out of the corner. Okay. Nissan Titan, 2017 Nissan Titan.
Just go with iData.
They don't have Nissan.
Really?
They don't have Nissan, so you're gonna go PAC. But you might not even need. Yeah. So, I don't know if it's like, I know on the Nissan they have the things. I think they stay put.
Just go to the website, check PAC audio.
There again, for something that's that's a pointed question, call the manufacturer. Like, go to iData and you can do the whole find your car thing and see what it says there and see if they have anything that will do that. And if it's confusing, call them. The Canadians would love to talk to you. And there again, if you go to PAC and they list their product and it doesn't make sense, call them. They have, like, both of these guys have, between the two of them, about 45 guys on phones talking to people all day long. So.
Or if you want, you can chime in tomorrow.
See you, Louis.
See you, Louis, because.
Well, yeah, but he might not know that specific question. So it'd be much better to talk to a guy that has the computer sitting in front of him. And there again, we're not going to ask Ernie that question. So call the tech support guys and ask them that pointed question. That would be the easiest thing to do.
Okay.
What kind of sub do you recommend? Oh, it's Mel. What's going on?
What's going on?
Semco amps are sick. Phoenix Gold, Mel. Phoenix Gold. What kind of subs do you recommend on a 2013 Toyota Tacoma? We gotta go shallow. Shallow is always simple. We're gonna go Comp RTs. Sorry.
Yep.
Thanks for the help, guys. No problem. Hope that works out. Let us know what you find out, Jeffrey. That way we can...
What's going on, Brian? Finally made it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just in time, too, because this is the end of the show.
Oh, yeah, that's what, like, kids say. What are your thoughts on the Sapco amplifiers? ESP.
I've never used them, but Mel there says they're wonderful, and I'm going to take Mel's advice because Mel is a phantom for Amp Global, and he knows his stuff.
And he's in Texas.
That's right, he's in Texas, where they grow them big.
What are we like that?
So anyways, that's the end of the show, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful Monday. Don't forget, tomorrow we have another show. We're having Ernie Hartman from Amp Global, head of tech support. He's going to be here. We're going to talk to him. We're going to find out how he got a job like that, and why would he want a job like that? Because he has to answer questions all day long. Right. Lots of fun there, but he's sick. He loves it. So, there again, that's tomorrow, 6:30, here on Facebook. Be here. Now, for the rest of you guys, Teespring/store/5star is a really cool place where you can get cool 5-star t-shirts. They make great stocking stuffers, or just a random gift hint towards your wife. Say, hey, man, pick me up a 5-star t-shirt. They're only like $20. I think we have one at 15. We also have sweaters and hoodies and all that fun stuff. And we're gonna have hats soon. Woo. Can't wait. Stickers you can find at stickers 5-star stickers at yahoo.com. DNF Tool Drawer is a place you can find all the cool tools that we use to do our installs. And Patreon is a place where you can go to support the show and get a podcast. What's up, Scott? So, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great night. We'll see you all tomorrow. We can't wait.
No, gents, you can call Paul for that big box.
Yeah.
80th anniversary.
Yeah, 727-216-6170. It's still here. You guys have a wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow.